So when Yo-Yo and the register girl came to the back to tell me that my mom was out in the front and she wanted to talk to Miss Shirley, I'm like, immediately I got shocked. I'm like, wait, she back here? They like, nah, Miss Shirley said don't let her back here. But she said she know you here. I'm like, how she know I'm here? Like, I didn't understand like how my mama kept up with my schedule, because she used to always ask me every other day, when do I work or do I work today? So it was kind of crazy or ironic that she remembered my schedule. You feel what I'm saying? So Yo-Yo and them, they went to go get Miss Shirley, and I'm like, Miss Shirley, I'm nervous. Please don't let her back here. She's like, I'm not going to let her back here. So Miss Shirley went out there and talked to my mom. I'm steady trying to complete orders. I have a lot of orders coming, but I'm not operating like I normally do with urgency. I don't want to push the food up because the people in the front might see me. So I'm bagging the food, and every time, you know what I'm saying, the register girl come back there, she like, hey, I'm waiting for a ticket. I'm like, look, you're gonna have to come, you know, all the way back here. I'm like, I got all the bags, I don't want my mama to see me. She said, well, Miss Shirley talking to her outside. I'm like, oh, I didn't know. So she said, yeah, okay. She like, all these bags ready? I'm like, yeah. She like, it's gonna be okay. I'm like, thank you. You know what I'm saying? Like, she made me feel good saying it. She like, it's gonna be okay. I'm like, thank you. So she grabbed the bags. She like, oh, do this one got extra hot sauce in the bag? I'm like, yeah, got extra hot sauce. Boom. She go out there. So Yo-Yo comes back there, right? Now, mind you, Miss Shirley is still out there talking to my mama. So Yo-Yo come back there like, hey, look, I need a favor from you. I'm like, well, she like, I need you to fry some okras. That's what she told me. I said, okay. Now, in one set of order, it comes 6. So when I only dropped 1 order. So she came back when she realized the okras was up. She was like, I need more than just 1 order. I'm like, well, you never told me or gave me a ticket. You just said drop order. She said, I never said drop an order. I said drop some okras. I'm like, which is 1 order. She like, well, I need 2 more orders than that. I'm like, well, just say that next time. She like, you've been acting real different lately. So now me and her, we're going back and forth. So the register girl come back there like, hey, is everything okay? She like, I need you out in the register. She said, yeah, everything fine with me and Roshan. Nobody asked you. So the register girl said, why you got an attitude? Every time somebody talking to him or anytime it's a situation with him, you get mad at me. Why are you getting mad at me? So now they having a little small talk on the floor. So Yo-Yo like, look, let's just get done with the rush. Now they finish, they go out to the front. So I'm like, oh man, this is just too much. So Miss Shirley comes from out there. She like, hey, come in my office. So I come in the office. She like, your mama said she's going to bring the police up here and she's going to bring her father. I'm like, what? She like, yeah, because I told her she's not allowed in the back. It's only for employees. And she said that, well, her son is back there. I told her you wasn't back here. But she said that she knows that you're here and she want to see for herself. I'm like, so what should I do? So she said, so look, I'm going to let you leave early. I'm going to let you leave right now. I'm like, okay. She like, do you have somewhere to go? I'm like, yeah, I got somewhere to go. She like, okay, grab your stuff. So I hurried up. Boom, I'm grabbing my stuff. So Miss Shirley, while I'm grabbing my stuff, she comes to me and give me a tray. It had like 6 wings in it. She like, just in case you didn't eat. I'm like, oh, thank you, Miss Shirley. So I go towards the front way. She like, no. Miss Shirley like, no, go out the back way. I'm like, no, hold on. So I looked at the register girl. I said, hey, I'm finna, and I did that. And she like, okay. She like, is everything okay? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'll talk to you later. So Miss Shirley had the back door open. She opened up that gate so I can be able to, you know what I'm saying, be scot-free. Boom, I break running. I go straight down that little block and a half or so. And I go right to the register girl crib. I put the key in. I sit down. I'm like, man, like my mama not letting up. Like, why she just won't go away? So I grabbed the burnout phone. I hit Raymond up. Yo, what you doing? He like, nothing. He like, I'm at the crib. He like, everybody gone. He like, it's just me. He like, where you at? I'm like, I suppose to been at work. I'm like, but my mama popped up there. She told me she finna send the feds. She finna send the boys up there. He like, for what? I'm like, she looking for me, bro. I'm like, that's why your mama. He like, yeah, no, she came down here earlier, though. He like, I told her, he like, it's just me there. I told her straight up, I ain't see you. He like, she coming up to your job? I'm like, yeah, because I know my mom. Because anytime I had ran away, my mom like, when I catch you, you mine. Or if I catch you, I'm going to smoke you like a Cuban cigar. So it was like, I'm already out here. You not finna catch me. And if you catch me, it ain't gonna be easy. That's how I was going. And I felt like I was already gone for some days. And I already know if she catch me, I don't know how I'm going to turn out to look. My mama going to scar my skin off my back. So Raymond like, look, just slide over on me. He like, and we can have a session. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, let me hit the shower. So boom, I hit the shower, put on the same clothes I got on, you feel me? Boom. I go on head towards that way. I met up with Raymond. We chilling in the crib. We chiefing, right? So he like, man, what's your plans? I'm like, nothing. I'm like, I got a game tomorrow. He like, you want me to come up there tomorrow? I'm like, no. I'm like, I need to keep everybody away from school. I'm like, because I'm getting snitched on. So I get to telling him the whole full tea. He just like, what? He like, oh, it's some girl drama. They got you in some girl drama. I'm like, bro. I'm like, I don't know what to do. He like, so you mess with all the girls? I'm like, not really. I'm like, Yo-Yo came on to me. I wasn't even looking at Yo-Yo like that. You feel me? So he like, man, that's crazy. He like, what you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, but the register girl, I'm like, she seems so sweet. But you know, the first impressions is everything. But like, can you keep it going? Can you keep it going, Steven? So he like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yeah, she fine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, she fine. So he like, oh, that's what's up. So he like, you going to be good for the night? So he trying to figure out, like, what I'm going to do for the night. You know what I'm saying? Because time is winding down. And he like, look, he like, my mama going to be getting off around about 12 a.m. So he like, if you going to stay, you got to stay right now. I'm like, no. I'm finna go back to her tip. I'm like, she gets off at 7. Right? So he like, all right. So boom, I stay a little longer. She already hit me up before I even open up the door. She already hit me up before I get ready to leave out. She like, hey, where you at? I'm like, hey, I had to stop at my gag crib. I'm like, I'm on my way back to you. She like, hurry up. I'm like, all right. So boom, I leave him. He like, you want me to drive you? I'm like, no, I can walk. He like, nah. Get in the car, I'm driving you. So I get in the car, boom. He drives me. He like, all right, this where you at? He like, just in case if anything happened. I'm like, I appreciate that. Boom, we do our little dap. I get out. So I go to her crib, boom. Straight up, it felt like good. Like, honey, I'm home. I straight open up the door. Boom, she in the kitchen. Whipping it up again, right? So I'm like, what you making? She like, oh, I'm making fish. I'm like, ooh. So I straight up told her like, oh, I don't like fish. I'm like, when I was young, you know, I had fish and I choked on a bone and my nana had to, you know, push bread down my throat. I'm like, I almost choked and died. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I don't eat fish. She like, okay, well, what you want? I got pork chops in here. Woo, woo. So she, clear as day, she grabbed out some pork chops. She let it sit out for a minute, let it thaw out. The girl made a separate meal for me because I told her I didn't eat the sides. This girl made a separate meal for me, fries and pork chops. I thought that was so sweet, but I didn't even act on it. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, oh, wow, like, okay. I think this girl like me, right? So she like, so your mom, what's going on with her? She seems like she's a little hot-headed. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, my mom is not going to stop until she catch me. She like, what did you do to her that make her want to snap so bad? I'm like, nothing. I'm like, anything I do upset her. So I'm just talking to her. She like, oh. So as I'm telling her everything I've been through, this girl straight up, she hugs me. She embraced me with this hug. And it felt good. It's like, it felt like I melted, right? And so she was like, well, I'm finna get ready to lay down. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, I'm probably just gonna watch a movie. She like, all right. She like, whatever you want, feel free. I'm like, all right, cool. Boom. As she talking, the cell phone go off. Bing, 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 bing. I look over, it's Mark. Yeah, what's up, bro? I'm like, you good? He like, I'm looking out the window. He like, guess who I see? I'm like, who? He like, Beth, Cynthia, and Cody. They over there on Cynthia porch. He like, I'm finna go over there. I'm like, no. I'm like, where mama at? He like, mama out there in the garage and she chilling. I say, she in the garage? What she doing in the garage? She said she was gonna go in the bar, but she went in the garage and she just sitting in the car. I think she on the phone. I'm like, and where dad? He like, dad in the room. Now, hold on, time out. Mom, why are you in the garage, in the car, talking to somebody, but you just told them you was about to get ready to go to the bar? Okay, I ain't tripping, but I'm listening to the story. I'm listening to what Mark telling me. But I ain't saying that because I know how my mama is. My mama be doing her own little thing on my dad. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. So, boom. You know what I'm saying? I said, no, Mark, just chill, just chill. He like, where you at? I'm like, you know, I'm at old girl house who we was with earlier. He like, you safe? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm like, I'm going to see you tomorrow. He like, all right. I'm like, please don't do don't go outside. He like, I want to run up on Beth. I'm like, don't run up on her. He like, bro, we own that. I'm like, all right, we own that, but don't run up on her. He like, hey, I'm finna go find a paintball gun. I say, no, don't do that. He like, yeah, I think Nana still got it. I say, how you gonna get it from Nana? He like, I'm gonna ride my bike over there tomorrow and go get it. I'm like, all right, cool. So boom, we hang up the phone. The register girl, she in her room. I'm trying to find a movie. I find just a random movie. I'm just laying back, right? I'm laying back on the couch. She comes. This like time went by. She comes. She like, you want an extra cover? I'm like, no. I'm like, I'm fine. She like, are you cold? I'm like, no. She like, you can help yourself with anything. She like, I just want to make sure the door locked. So she had on like these boy shorts. Had her cheeks out and everything. But I, you know what I'm saying? I was glancing. I was looking. I was peeping the scenery like, all right, I see it. You know what I'm saying? So boom, she goes to the door. She checks it. She goes to the back door and checks it. So boom, she goes in her room, back in the room. Don't say nothing. So I'm laying down. I doze off. I get up. I got to go to the bathroom, right? In the middle of my sleep, I go to the bathroom. So I'm, like, you know, like that fresh morning, I got to use it. So, you know, I'm kind of making a little sound effects, right? So as I come out, she's like at the doorway. I'm like, oh, I'm like, you okay? She like, yeah, I'm fine. She like, are you okay? She like, I thought somebody snuck in and was hurting you or choking you. I'm like, no. I'm like, I had to use it. I'm like, my bad if I woke you up. So I go back and I go lay on the couch, right? So she like, you can come lay in my bed. And so I look up because she was talking to me from far away. As I look up, I said, what? She like, you can come lay in my bed. And I'm like, you sure? I'm like, I can lay at the foot. She was like, no, you can lay in the bed. She like, I lay in the bed with my friends all the time. I'm like, all right, okay. So boom, I go ahead, I go in the bed with her and I lay down. Now, as I'm laying in the bed with her, it's that space where it's me and then it's her and it's that space in the middle. So I'm like I don't lay on my back, I lay on my stomach. So I'm laying on my back and I'm looking up like, oh my God, like, and she got on boy shorts, right? So I'm like, okay, like I'm used to laying on my side too. So I'm like, man, all right, I'm gonna play it cool. So I turned the other way. So I had my back towards her. So I feel an arm come over me. I'm like, okay, so she basically cuddling with me. So I'm like, okay. So I tuck back, like tuck my posterior like up under her. So now I'm dozing off.